Hi, this is Stephen Williams, and I appreciate you. Thank you for coming for another session of Behind the Veil. For those of you, if this is your first time hanging out with me, thank you so much. Please subscribe, notification bell somewhere down there. It's just good information as we go behind the veil. If you are been here before, I appreciate you for hanging out. Listen, this is going to be a very quick one and a very short one that I wanted to share with you from behind the veil. And I was going to be somewhat dramatic, but I thought I better not be dramatic. Let's just get to the chase. There are three things that I'm finding out if I could tell my 20-year-old self this, all right? And so you're made up of body, soul, and spirit, right? So the body, the soul, the spirit being the core of who you are, the body, which is the makeup, the outside, and of course the soul, which is the mind. And so there are some things that I wanted to share with you that determines the battle. So the battle is this. The battle of the mind is dealing with facts. The battle of the body, which is really controlled by the heart, it's the heartbeat of your life, that controls your feelings. And then your spirit man deals with your faith. And so it's a constant battle. Are you functioning in your feelings, which is your heart? Are you functioning in your mind, which deals with facts? Or are you moving in your spirit, which deals with faith? It becomes a real battle across the board that you get a faith word, but you second guess it by facts, or you do it based on a feeling. And sometimes when you're walking by faith, when you're walking in your real self and your real calling and who you're supposed to be, it has no feelings associated with it. It's just you got to do it. And a lot of people are missing out on their destiny because they're waiting on a feeling, or they're waiting on the facts to line up. God doesn't, if he is spirit, he wrapped us in flesh, then he talks to us in spirit, which means some things you do because he said do it, not because you feel it, and not because there's a fact. So let me give you an example. A very familiar passage of scripture, and I hate to just use so much, but let's deal with it. All right, there's a storm going on. Peter is on the boat. He sees what looks like a ghost, and Jesus tells him to come. And then Peter, he says, if you're Jesus, bid me come. Get me out this boat, right? And he takes this step. So now my thing is, which one is functioning? Do you get the miracle? Because the facts are, in my mind, if I step out of this boat, I'm going to drown. There is absolutely no way you're telling me that I can actually walk on water. That's not a fact, all right? The fear is involved around it. So do you step out? Because if you trust your feelings, then fear is the emotion. And so you have to override the facts. You have to override the feelings and move by faith. And a lot of us have not done anything that we've been called to do because we're waiting on the facts to be right, or we're waiting on the feelings. And I'm notorious for that, when in all actuality, he doesn't speak to us in our facts or our feelings. He speaks to us by our faith. And that is that voice that's on the inside. Now, when we start talking about the heart, I have to interject this because someone said this to me yesterday, and I wanted to make sure I got it. Because when you're dealing with feelings and you're dealing with doing the things that you're doing, and let's make this a relationship moment for just a moment. When you're dealing with feelings, you have to be careful that attraction does not always equal compatibility. And when you're feeling something and you're feeling this thing, this connection, I share this with my son all the time, that you can feel like a person is the love of your life, but it takes two people to make that same notion. So you can't bounce based just on the feeling. You have to really bounce based on the faith in the spirit realm. That's why you should be praying when you're meeting someone. It's not just how good they look, it's how are they going to act? How will they treat you? Are they narcissistic? Are they selfish? Are they insecure? Any of those adjectives will dilute a relationship. And I just wanted to share those three things. Which one are you functioning in right now in your life? Are you functioning by the facts? If you look at the facts, man, you're not supposed to be where you are. You're not supposed to do anything. You can come from a bad neighborhood. Just think about that for a minute. Is it just the feelings that you're dealing with? How many of you know those are fleeting? And so you have to move and maneuver in this thing in the faith. Is that what you got down from your prayer? Is that what you're supposed to be doing? And if you're supposed to be doing that, then do it. Don't worry about the feelings. Don't worry about the facts. Others may be doing it. Others may be better than you at doing it. I'm moving in this new genre. I've got some music that's coming out. And even this whole notion of walking behind the veil. We're interviewing people. We're coming up with things. And I had to get rid of my feelings. And I had to get rid of the facts. Facts is, I didn't go to school for broadcasting. I didn't go to school, so I'm learning this stuff as I move along. But there is something in the faith. There is a faith movement there. And so I want you to challenge yourself to think, which one am I functioning in today? Am I functioning in facts? Am I functioning in feelings? Or am I operating by faith? Because the mind will control, it wants facts. That's what your mind wants. And that's what's trying to be saved. Your soul, your thinking, your emotions, your will. And if it's not factual, then you won't move. Or are you following your heart? And those of us who know, and I share this with everybody, you mess around and follow your heart. Your heart at its best can be most deceptive. It can even be wicked, according to the text. And you can miss out on a real good life following your heart. And so the only thing that is sure is if you move by faith. And that would be the question I have for you today. Which one of those are controlling your movement, you going forward? Is it facts? Is it feelings? Or is it faith? I submit and I suggest to you that you have to interweave all of them, but faith must be the first one. You must have a passion for what you're doing. But if you don't get a word from it, then you could be going down the wrong road and not ever accomplish anything. And there's nothing worse than to try to do something and you're failing at it, but you just want to go forward. You got to stop and see, is this a faith walk or is this foolishness? And so you have to make sure you know what that is. And people want to get away from God, but you need to get to Him to try to make sure that this thing works out for you, because you don't want to walk around in failure. All right. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. This is a very quick one from Behind the Veil. I got some great things coming up real soon. I'm going to be interviewing the voice extraordinaire, Walter Johnson, and we're going to talk about some things. And so this Behind the Veil thing is really doing good. And so I'm excited about it. Listen, please subscribe. Please take a moment down here and subscribe, and let people know and share it as we go behind the veil and figure out some things so that we can be better. I'm still on this hunt. I got to get this $5,000 liquid in my account, and I want to make sure that I get that done, because life is too short for me not to have all the things that I need to have. All right, until next week. Thank you so much for hanging out with me behind the veil. I'm excited about what is going to transpire. God is doing some marvelous things, and I'm walking by faith and not by sight. All right, until next week.